We're back, baby. The break is finally done. It felt like an age. It also felt like maybe a couple of minutes, but we're finally back. The first race of the season coming up on Sunday, Albert Park, Australia. I cannot wait. I hope you guys are excited too. So obviously you can tell today we've got the pre-race predictions. I'm very excited for this one. It's an early start, especially for you guys in the UK. I think you're starting, what is it, about 4 a.m. or so. We're starting about 6 o'clock here in South Africa. Day before work, a bit rough, but it's so worth it. I've been dying for this moment and so much to look forward to. We had a pretty exciting 2024 season, but 2025 is going to be just so much better, or at least we hope. And then watch Max Verstappen just walk away and win 24 races in a row. Hopefully not. So yeah, this one is basically on vibes because obviously the pre-season was all in Bahrain, so different track, different conditions. It rained there, which it never does. So not exactly the same as Albert Park, but yeah, some interesting things to break down. I'm yeah, I'm almost speechless. I'm so excited. So let's just start off with some basic news for any of you guys who might have missed it. So starting off quite strongly, Stefano, can't even say his name, Stefano Domenicali. He's continuing as the CEO and president of Formula One. For those of you who don't know what that means, he's in charge of Formula One, which is the people that make our sports good, not like the FIA. So I think he's done a pretty good job. Formula One's a lot more marketable, a lot more profitable than it used to be. It's reached out to a bigger audience. So yeah, I think it's quite cool. And then the really big news is Oscar Piastri has signed on a little bit longer with McLaren. It could take him all the way to 2028. Makes his salary about the same as Norris. I mean, that's fair considering he's going to win the world championship. So yeah, I mean, he should actually be paid more. But anyway, sorry Lando fans. So yeah, some good news. Lance Stroll's still not good. That's not really news, but anyway, sorry to the Stroll supporters. My channel at this point is actually just going to be pretty much linked to hating Lance Stroll. Then again, most of the internet is pretty much like that now. So yeah, let's go straight into the predictions. Australian Grand Prix, Albert Park, 14 turns, 4 DRS zones, 2 detection points. Last couple of years has been super exciting, and this year obviously is going to be a lot more. There's always a bit of a storm kicked up there. Can very specifically remember the season where they did a 2-lap restart and there was just utter chaos. So yeah, the big one. So how we're going to do this, is the first time I've done this, is obviously, as you can see, you're going to start off with the biggest flop and the biggest win for the teams. And I'm going to explain to you why. So the biggest team flop I have put in Ferrari. They go half my audience already. So yeah, it's not, again, this is all on vibes. We don't really have much information to go on. But coming to the season, I think we expected quite a strong battle between Ferrari and McLaren, definitely. And in cases like myself, I kind of predicted that Leclerc would be the world champion, and I thought Ferrari, might be very close to McLaren, even though I predicted that they would be the constructors champions. But yeah, I just think that to start off the season, they're going to do everything they can to try and get Lewis up to speed. And that's the big thing, is if you're focusing on setup for one driver that isn't used to the car, you automatically, even unintentionally, going to put a bit of a disadvantage to the driver that is up to speed already. So throwing all the eggs in Hamilton's basket for the first race makes sense for the season, but it is going to affect, their race. And Hamilton is really good around Albert Park, so I could have a proper egg on my face after this. But I just think, I don't know, I'm not feeling it. Like I say, it's vibes, and I'm just not feeling it. That brings me into the biggest win for teams, and that is Red Bull. Probably not what we want, considering all the dominance that we got up until the end of the year last year, or halfway through the year, really. The reason that I say this is not because I think they're going to cook. I don't think that they're going to go ahead and win the race 1-2, Liam Lawson in first and Max Verstappen in second. I think it is just a case of everyone is writing them off. And Liam is going to take time to warm up to the new car. The Red Bull looks a bit stiff. So I don't think it's going to be... He's not going to have a flop if he finishes P7, you know. Then he's already finishing off better than Perez did. So you can't expect too much from him. It's more about Max. And everyone's riding Max off at the moment. It's raining on Sunday. So something important to remember is in qualifying, we've got almost 30 degrees air temperature. I don't know what the track temperature will be, but quite high. Then Sunday is raining. So at the end of qualifying, we've got parc fermé conditions. The cars are either going to be set up for qualifying or set up for the race. They're different track conditions, so you can't set up for both of them. And yeah, it's good. Obviously, with the 4 DRS zones, it's good overtaking at Albert Park. But you'd think if you're someone like Max Verstappen that gets your elbows out, set up for qualifying, he's good in the wet anyway. Get yourself up into the front row or pole position, and then just use your ability in the wet to and obviously get your elbows out to make sure that no one overtakes you. So I think if Max Verstappen finishes second, it's a bit higher than we might have predicted. You know, second, first, third, even fourth would be a little bit more than what we predicted. And I take that as the biggest win, and I think he's going to do it. So, pre-race predictions: biggest flop driver, biggest win driver. And for the biggest flop, I have Isaac Hadjar. Maybe that is going to be a progression for this channel, is me moving over from hating Stroll to hating Hadjar. Shame. It's nothing against him. It's vibes, and I don't feel him. He did obviously do well in Formula 2, but we know how much shambles that championship is in at the moment. And he's not really... I don't think he's the most fantastic driver in the world. He's not going to set the times alight. He can be quick, but I don't think he's exceptionally quick. In the Formula 2 season, Bortoleto was a little bit unlucky with reliability at points. And I think that's why Hadjar got so close. But I think Bortoleto who obviously won the championship ahead of Hadjar, I think would have been so much more ahead if he had the chance, really. So, yeah, I just think there's not much expected from RB. I think they're going to be even worse than we expect. And I think Tsunoda is going to comfortably smoke him. He's going to roll him up and smoke him. So, yeah, unfortunately, sorry, Hadjar, that's where you are. Biggest win? Andrea, Kimi, Antonelli. So one thing was really clear from testing, and I don't think, testing times aren't representative, but I think one thing was clear, is that Kimi is fast. He is flippin' fast. Might be a problem in the race that he seemed to kind of cook the tires a little bit in the testing, but he just has that raw speed. So again, if he can manage himself in the rain and use that raw speed to maybe even out-qualify Russell, well, then we've got something on our hands. So I'm not saying, again, he's going to be the biggest winner because he's going to win the race or even finish on the podium. But if he's anywhere near Russell as a rookie in a front-running car, I think that's a win. There's no one else that I can really think of that wherever I think they would finish in the race would be better than expected. Besides Kimi, Sainz, I would have said if it wasn't for the case that he topped the timing for preseason testing. If he was 4th, 5th, and, obviously Williams are doing glory runs and stuff, then okay. But I think Kimi, he looks good. I'm actually super, super excited to see where his season goes. So, yeah, I'm slowly becoming a bit of a Kimi fan here. Obviously, I miss the Iceman, real Kimi Raikkonen. At least we got a Kimi back on the grid. Personalities are very different, though. Moving over to our podium. So I'm not going to start with first because no one does. And obviously the recipe to YouTube is just copy everyone else. So let's do it. So in third place, I have, drumroll please, which I won't insert because I don't want to edit, Lando Norris. So everyone, I think a lot of people are predicting him to win. It's not that I don't think he's going to be good. I think he might qualify on pole. So that's a prediction I didn't put here. I think Lando will qualify on pole. The conditions will be good. The McLarens look lightning quick. But I don't think he's over the first lap antics. And I think, like I said earlier, Max is going to be pretty high up. And you know what happens when those two come together. So I can't really see Lando getting higher than third. Again, nothing to do with skill, just circumstance. Maybe pressure as well. I don't know. He's got a certain Australian that's earning as much as him now. So yeah. Brings us into second place. And in second place, I kind of spoiled it earlier. We have Max Verstappen. I'm still learning how to do these videos, so obviously I did spoil it a bit earlier, but yeah, again, I think it's just about qualifying setup, Max getting his elbows out. I don't think the Red Bull's as bad as we maybe think or thought it was, and Max is just inevitable. He's like Thanos. Yeah, he is just there. He always exists. He's a driver you have to watch out for the whole time. So, especially if it is raining on Sunday, I think there's like a between 80 and 90% chance of rain on Sunday. We saw what happened in Brazil. It doesn't matter what the car, if he's driving the stake, kick, put your name here, Formula One team, you know, with that's actually pedal powered, he'd probably still win in the rain. So he's brilliant. And yeah, I think he's gonna make a big mark. So who do I put in first? In first place, again, I'm not going to edit it in, but drumroll please, we have Oscar Piastri, Advanced Australia Fair. So Oscar, I think he was holding back at testing. I think he was keeping a little bit in, a little bit to the side, not showing his full cards to everyone else, especially not to Lando and McLaren. Let Lando have all the glory. He's going to win the World Championship. Lando's going to come into that first corner and he's going to put his name there. He's going to push everyone aside and he's going to say, I am the next world champion. Okay, maybe the bias is coming out again. But no, I mean, Oscar knows that track really well. He's obviously a big fan of Melbourne. It's around, you know, it's his home ground. The fans in Australia, I don't think really support their Formula One drivers as much as maybe like the British support Lewis or Ollie or George, Orlando, or the other Brits there. But it is home ground and he will have a lot of support there. McLaren's look lightning quick and he looked rapid last year. It was just consistency. So if he has the same kind of race like he did in Baku, well then we really have a blinder on our hands. And I'm shaking because I'm so excited for the season, but I also think that Oscar's going to lay the mark early. Remember the papaya rules thing from last year. It's fair racing, all of this, all of that, but McLaren know they have a real chance to win both the drivers and the constructors championship. And whatever driver takes the lead, you know, from every other team and every other driver is going to get preference. They're going to be the ones that are going to get the better strategies, the better setups. The other, teammates going to have to help them in qualifying with things like slipstream, and move out of the way when maybe they're leading and Oscar is second. So he's going to want to make his mark, and I think he's in a better position to do it than Lando. Could be pure bias, but that's what I think. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the video. I hope everyone is super excited for the race. Obviously, I'm going to try to do this for every race. We've got a super exciting one on our hands. And yeah, I just hope everyone enjoys it. I hope everyone's got a nice cup of coffee brewed for the race because it is an early one. But yeah, this one's for you, Australia. You have to wake up flipping early for every other race, or late, depending on how you look at it. So yeah, I'm very excited. I'm glad Australia is back to being the season opener. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. I'm Mike from Pit Stop. If you liked the video, don't forget to like the video. Subscribe, share it. If you want to be notified about future videos, hit that bell icon. And thanks everyone. Enjoy the race and have a lucky evening.